Hello and a very warm welcome. Round 24 of the F1 season. The last race of the season as F1 heads to Abu Dhabi. This one is going to be tense. It's going to be nerve-wracking and arse-clenching. McLaren Ferrari back to the good old days. Who wants it more for the Constructors title? I'm not looking forward to this one. Bits, but yeah, McLaren could win their first Constructors since '98. Ferrari could win their first since 2008. It's massive, huge. It's going to be tense. It's going to be nerve-wracking until the last lap. And the checkered flag, I will not be celebrating. The way this season's gone, it's going to ebb and flow. Yeah. We head to Abu Dhabi, a cash cow event, as we've seen with Vegas and Qatar. Round 24, the last race of the season. 58 laps with 2 DRS zones and first held in 2009. Abu Dhabi, the last race, that divides opinion. Me personally, I would have Brazil as the last race, as I think it's better action. And I'm not a massive fan of the Abu Dhabi circuit. Before we had their old layout, they opened it up a bit. They took some chicanes out to produce more overtaking, especially where Max dive-bombed Lewis for the controversial 21. I just don't like this event new, and I don't like it even more with what happened in 2021. So every time we come back here, there's a sour taste. It's last race, the gloves are off. A lot of drivers' final race for their teams, and yeah, the track it has changed, it's much faster, but it's a tense weekend ahead. Race reaction, I'm going to be emotional, upset, happy, crying, emotion, painful, otherwise, or I'm going to be very angry, like Italy, but Italy times 10. We have to win the Constructors, 21 points ahead. Yeah. So my first point this week, McLaren v Ferrari. Two iconic teams going for the Constructors title. McLaren should have wrapped the drivers and Constructors. They failed to do so, as they bottled too many times. And Ferrari to be even in the mix is impressive. We go for second point, Haas, Alpine, Racing Bulls. Huge battle for 6. Who wants it more? Gasly, with his 5th place, has probably secured Alpine their 6th place. Haas F1 are 5 points behind, and Racing Bulls are probably out of it now, because they would need at least 14 points as a team to haul Alpine. That seems unlikely. But yeah, it's on still. Third point. Now this is a bit, I don't get this. I really don't. I don't get it. I nearly said Mick Doohan. How many times am I going to say that over next season? Or this weekend? Jack Doohan comes in. Esteban Ocon is out. Esteban Ocon has been released early so he can do the post-season test for Haas. Jack Doohan comes in. Alpine have not secured 6 yet in the Constructors. It's huge money. Huge. And they're putting a rookie in for the last race. That seems hellish risky to me. Now, you could come back and say Ocon doesn't score points anyway, but Ocon's used to the car. This seems a massive risk. If Haas actually turn it around and they get 6, then Alpine have fucked it. Fourth point. Now, I'm going to go Lewis Hamilton. Last dance for Mercedes. Yeah, what a career he's had at Mercedes. 7 world titles. Most of his success has come down to Mercedes. I've not been happy with Lewis. I think he's going out on a whimper. Tomorrow's video is going to be about Lewis. I think he's gone out on a whimper. His season this season has been shocking. Nowhere near up to Lewis's standards. He's getting battered by a topless model. The car's different, in, out, shake it all about, con the fans every week. Yeah, I'm upset with Lewis. He owes everything to his Mercedes. McLaren 2008, you know, then he makes a bold genius call to go to Mercedes when they weren't really winners. And it turned out to be a genius call. 6 world titles at Mercedes. Could argue 7. But yeah, yeah, it's just teetered out. Wanting to retire, giving up. Even though you say never Never give up, still we rise, and all this nonsense. So, yeah, Lewis, last race for Mercedes, that's going to be a tad emotional, but I honestly don't think he deserves a send-off with the way he's performed recently. I mean, obviously, legend, greatest driver, but he's been shocking of late. All the guys, girls worked at Mercedes. Nah, not good enough. So, last dance, number 5, last dance for a lot of drivers. So I'm going to run down quickly. Carlos Sainz, his last race with Ferrari before he goes to Williams. Lewis Hamilton's last race for Mercedes before he goes to Ferrari. Sergio Perez is probably going to be without a drive. Nico Hülkenberg's last race for Haas before he goes to Sauber. Yuki Tsunoda, possible, could be his last race for Racing Bulls if he gets the Red Bull promotion. Ocon will not feature, he's Haas bound. Kevin Magnussen looks like he's going to be out the sport. Who else we got? Colapinto could be his last race for a year unless he gets a drive. Guan Yu Zhou sacked after amazing at Qatar. Lawson could be his last race for Racing Bulls if he gets Red Bull. Bottas is out. Yeah, a lot of drivers will be emotional for a lot of drivers. Number 6, I think we're on 6. Max and Russell rivalry. Now I like rivalry in Formula 1. And we had some spicy comments. Russell bitching and whining to get Max a penalty. And Russell's bitching and whining worked for the FIA as they gave him a one-place penalty. And then Max, very outspoken in the post-race press conference, confronted George Russell before the drivers' parade where they go on the bus. I like that. I like that. I hope they're side by side this weekend on the grid. I like a bit of rivalry. 7, are we on 7? 7, Perez gone after this race, surely. And that leads me into 8. It's going to be a shootout between Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda. Surely Yuki has to get it. Abu Dhabi, round 24, last race of the season. It's going to be emotional, tense. I don't know what I feel with McLaren. We have to win the Constructors. If we don't win the Constructors, oh my god, I don't know how I'm going to react. I really don't. Yeah. And if we don't win the Constructors, I think Zak Brown has to go. Simple as that. McLaren, Ferrari. They used to dominate the 2000s. Now, it's time. Who's going to win at Abu Dhabi? A lot of permutations. Yeah. McLaren DNF, Ferrari would win it. You know, there's a lot of first, second, fourth, fifth. You know, I'm not getting into all that. McLaren got to win this Constructors. We've had a great season. Now it's time to get that Constructors title. Comment down below your thoughts. Adios. Not a bad tea.